and welcome to Dynamics Minds podcast. My name is Rachel Irabor. I'm a Microsoft MVP, a Power Platform developer, and a Dynamics 365 CRM developer. Today, we have wonderful women here with us, and we are going to be talking about Dynamics Minds Conference. Hi, Angelika. Hi, Donna. Hi, Vivian.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. And I think the first thing first is for our speakers to introduce yourselves. So, hi, Angelika, if you can please introduce yourself.
Hi,
Angeliki.
Rachel. Hi,
Yeah, sorry.
everyone.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm also a Microsoft MVP in Business Applications. I am a functional consultant with Avanade, and I'm an all-round geek slash hybrid between a previous background in marketing and change management and now into a more technical career. So ultimately a big passion for human impact in what we do.
Yeah. Thank you. And sorry for the mistake I made in your name. Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, hi, Vivian, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Rachel. I'm Vivian Voss from Denmark, working as a Dynamics 365 and Power Platform solution architect, technical consultant, and a trader, you name it. That's the life of a freelance consultant. For the past 6 months, I've been on my own, living the life, as you call it, and looking forward to meeting everyone at Dynamics Minds.
Yeah, yay. We are definitely looking forward to it because it's not far anymore. We have May just behind us. Yeah. So, hi, Donna.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Dona Sarkar. I wrangle all of the co-pilots at Microsoft, specifically looking at how they relate to your context, so on your own data. I love Dynamics Minds last year, and I can't wait to meet all of you again this year.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And we're definitely going to go to the questions just to find out about your experience and to know, ginger everybody who is listening so that they can attend, they can look forward to it, the Dynamics Minds Conference. So the first question I want to ask is to Angeliki. So what do you personally find to be the key ingredients of a good conference?
So this is a very interesting question because there's so many great community conferences out there and there's such variety. And I'm going to give an answer that is very similar to what Dynamics Minds got right from the beginning, which is a variety of areas that are coming together so that you're able to learn from all the different areas or products that you might not be usually exposed to. So as a very simple example, my bread and butter and just my areas commonly are within the Dynamics 365 space and within Power Platform. So I don't usually get to interact with people from the BC world, for example, or F&O. It's just how it has happened in practice. And having a conference like Dynamics Minds, bringing different worlds together is massively important for us within the day-to-day because we are able to bring a richer perspective overall back in the field and for our customers. But also from a learning opportunity, it's super important because we are expanding outside of our comfort zone. And this is one of the best elements of attending a conference as well. That's one of the key ingredients, but also having a good organization as well that is bringing both the speakers and the attendees at that place where all they have to do is be spoiled with choice and choose sessions and not have to worry about any other logistics.
Yeah, and I think there's one thing I love too about the Dynamics Minds. I've heard a lot of things. This is my first year and I'm looking forward to it. I think for instance, we have different parts in Dynamics and for instance, for Dynamics 365 CRM, with attending this conference, even in being in CRM, you get to know about what is happening in F&O. You get to know about what is happening in BC, Business Central. So it's definitely amazing. Yeah. So hi, Vivian.
Hello, Rachel. I agree everything that Angeliki just mentioned in terms of being able to combine different areas. I'd still like to add marketing to it as well, now that we go into the outer skirt. But one of the things that I find personally a key ingredient is also the approachability of the content team, the approachability of the team, bringing the community conference together. And that is also, of course, might be different in terms of a commercial conference versus a community conference. But in general, if you know the people behind it, if they are approachable. It also gives people that are involved, so speakers, sponsors, and the volunteers as such as well, they invest more into the conference, makes it also a better experience for all the attendees, because it's not just the organizers who are the face of the conference after that. It is all the people involved that want to make it a success, also making it a better picture for the people attending. So the marketing does not involve just social media all of a sudden, but it's all the people around it. And that was also that you could see last year at the conference, actually. We were all together, and everywhere you could see people either involved or talking to each other, speakers to attendees, to sponsors, to everyone. So I would say that connection is what makes a really good conference.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Hi, Dana.
Apologies, I'm shoveling caffeine down my face as fast as I can. I agree completely with what you two have said, especially since both Angeliki and Vivian have not just been to a million conferences, but they've participated in organizing a million conferences. And they've done a lot of community conference work, which I find to be very challenging, because I've only ever done corporate conference work, which is extremely structured, right? You invite this many people, go to this place, here are the tracks, everything's kind of preset for you. But a community conference, there's so much room that it's very hard to make choices over what you're going to do. So I find it particularly challenging just from the outside. But I found the conferences that I found to be the most valuable just to people. I've had three things very, very significantly positioned. The first one is, of course, the content, which is the majority of the reason why newcomers, let's say, go to a conference. They say, what will I get out of this? At the end of the 3 days, how will I be better? How will this further my career? How will this further my network? So the content itself has to be things that are familiar, but things that are also forward-looking. And I think that is really important for conference organizers, to be able to do a little bit of forward looking and say, by coming to this event, these people who are attending, taking time out of their lives and jobs, will be more set up to succeed in their career in the next 6 months, 12 months, 1 year, etc., because they were able to get inside baseball on something that they may not have known about before. So that's one. It's a very, very rare thing in our industry. Conferences are really the only way to learn about what's going on, what's coming up in the future, without knowing people on the inside. So that's one. Second thing are the speakers and participants. It's important to have industry professionals who are very recognizable, but it's also very important to have the next generation, because otherwise you get into this conference, whirlpool of the exact same people, conference over conference, and you never grow a bench. You never grow the next generation of speakers. You never grow the next generation of attendees. And then things get stale and they get old. And guess what? You don't have fresh new content. So I think making sure, like Vivian said, to have new areas being pulled into the event and new people who are new to the community be speakers, not just participants, is incredibly important. And the third thing is lots and lots of blank space for networking and hallway conversations. Because I have been to conferences where they're back to back to back to back, very little time for hallway conversations. And that is where I found the magic to really happen, where you go out, have a session, have enough space, like physical space and time space for the speaker to be able to talk to people after, rather than get out, go to the next thing, right? So those are the three ingredients I found to be very successful in conferences that I've attended.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I love all the experiences you have all shared. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Angeliki. Yeah,
Hey,
okay. So I have my next question to ask. So concerning networking, how can you relate your experience with attending DynamicsMinds Conference to networking? Yeah, because it's very important. Yeah.
of course, of course. And I think I can really relate to what Donna was saying in terms of the hallway experience. And I learned a new term last week during MVP Summit, which is apparently the hallway conference. That is a whole
Okay.
experience of its own. So I really understand the power that that holds, and whether it's with fellow community members, product group, or whomever you are able to connect with. That's super, super important, because there's so many benefits. The fact that you're building a network on its own is super important. You're building your knowledge. You're building general soft skills that are equally important. And ultimately, you don't know who that person is going to be in your network tomorrow. It could be your future boss, it could be your future colleague, or it could be someone that you could be mentoring or who's mentoring you back. So building that network without being completely sure of where that's going to be in the picture and keeping an open mind is super, super important. And it has value on personal and professional level. And on that note, I think we need to maintain that open mind by continuing to be curious, to be brave. And what I mean by brave is reach out to people that you've not spoken to, maybe people that you don't know as well or that you have admired but didn't have the guts. So I'm going to be up there first and say that because of my neurodiversity, sometimes I find it challenging to speak to new people. And nevertheless, I have to admit that the community is so open and welcoming and approachable that even that does not ultimately deter me. So be out there. People are always so welcome and open, and just learn together.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. Like there's something you just said that I love a lot is that the community is very open, and that is true. Yeah, thank you. Hi, Vivian.
Hi, Rachel. I agree once again with everything that has been said. Networking is important to everything that we do, both privately and professionally here.
Yeah.
As well, I wouldn't have a job if I wouldn't know how to network. So it is important also in terms of learning new things, learning new people. But that is also what Dynamics Minds as a conference was last year, and hopefully it's also this year, is that they're bringing together the Power Platform, the Dynamics 365, not just customer engagement, but also Business Central, F&O, and all the different areas, because there is not a conference, I can't maybe say in the world, but at least not in Europe, that has all those areas represented at one place. You have Power Platform and Dynamics 365 CE in some conferences, but that's about where it stops. F&O and BC have their own. So to be able to actually network with people that working with the products that are that similar, I'm kind of saying similar because there are so many differences, but they're still connected and you don't see the people. You actually, there are a lot of projects that expand between the different areas and products that I've never had a person to reach out to because I never knew anyone from the BC or the F&O area. So to me, the Dynamics Minds 2023 conference was a groundbreaking in that terms. I have significantly increased my network within BC and F&O people. And funnily enough, after Dynamics Minds 2023, I've been to many conferences with the same people, and that kind of just starts a snowball effect. And that's the part I also love about networking. But also to come back to what Donna said in the terms that it is important to have those hallway conversations and have time at conferences for those hallway time and discussions. It's very challenging for organizers. I know myself. At the same time, you don't never know how much time there should be, if it's enough, if it's too much, and so on. Okay. But the good thing about Dynamics Minds is also the fact that it is all happening in a huge hotel area that has different corners, different bars, cafes, areas that you can just sit down. If it is that you find a good conversation, you sit down, have a conversation, and then you can join another session afterwards. So you don't feel like you have to stop. You always find a place that you can finish the conversation and then join the conference again.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a really amazing experience. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Hi, Donna.
Hey. Okay, so Dynamics Minds, I will say, is probably one of the best conferences on the planet for networking and building relationships. And I say that for a reason, because you are in a lock-in for 3 days with 100 people. Like, that is it. You are isolated from the world. You're not running around a city. You're not distracted you're not in 7 different hotels. You're not trying to find each other. Everyone is staying at the same hotel for 3 days. And you're going to see everybody at breakfast, at coffee, at lunch, at cocktails, on the beach, with the band. You are going to see people. And going and hiding in one's room is not interesting at Dynamics Mind because there's a band blasting starting at 6 p.m., right? It is just not, it is a conference that even the most introverted person I saw until 10 o'clock at night outside. So In terms of networking, it does get you out of your comfort zone. And that might feel a little uncomfortable for people, but it is good for you because you will make very good friends at this conference. It was probably the conference where I met every single person there. I met 100 people in a weekend, which was a lot. But I've maintained so many of those relationships, and they have been very, very valuable and interesting. So Dynamics Minds is a very different kind of conference. I've never been to one like that before, but I'm very excited to attend again this year. In terms of networks, the importance and why, I just prefer to call it building new relationships because a lot of it is you might know these people from Twitter or LinkedIn or, passing by, but being able to engage with them, like hearing their talk or seeing what they say on a panel or, on social media or whatever, and being able to have that time over the course of 3 days to actually engage in conversation is really, really valuable because in-person relationships, as pandemic showed, there's nothing in the world that can replace it.
Yeah.
Like you, Vivian, I got my last 5 jobs because of people I met at conferences. Like last 5. That's how I get tapped for jobs because they heard me speak at a conference or I heard them speak at a conference. All 5 for the last decade. So I'm a huge believer of this, and I do believe it can be transformative to careers.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. Okay, so I have another question. Drum roll. Okay, my next question, I think everywhere is dark right now. Okay, good. Okay, so my next question is, hi, Angeliki. So my next question is, what are your expectations for the next conference, which is happening in May? Yeah.
So this kind of expectation is also like advice as well for people that are considering as well, you know, to begin with, it is a honest opinion. There are many different areas. Choose wisely. I mean, by all means, go to your passion areas. But make sure you have a balance with session in areas that you're not familiar with as much, or maybe you wouldn't work day to day with, because that will not only expand your skill set and your network, but it's also super important to stay relevant. And let's be frank, in this current economic environment, we want to be T-shaped people. We can't just be too specialist. That being said, the other advice that I would have is to also look at the different sponsor booths as well. There's some exciting conversations that you can have there as well by understanding where the market is at and understanding other people's kind of focus areas. I found that really interesting as well, especially because I've not been in that part of Europe before. So, for example, because of the usual nature of work that I'm involved in, that I wouldn't engage as much with SMBs or maybe that part of the European market, it really opened up my mind in terms of the kind of customers and their needs there. So that's because I ventured out of my comfort zone. So not just community members and speakers, but I spoke to those sponsors as well that have their own local operations. So that was really great. And the third one would be to go with the cause, go with some big questions in mind that you want to answer and build a theme out of the conference. So in my personal case, I mean, we all love and speak about Copilot, but I have big questions around the so what and the how do we move from personal productivity to team efficiencies and collaboration. And I have questions like that I want to find both sessions as well as people to interact with to answer. So those themes keep me honest in terms of how I'm going to choose my sessions and how I'm going to navigate conversation. So go on a mission and go with all your curiosity and open mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You heard her. Go with curiosity and have a lot of questions too. Yeah. And feel free. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. We are definitely all there to learn. Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Vivian.
Hey, Rachel. Totally agree. Speakers do enjoy questions, so have at them. People or speakers usually are less satisfied if the room is silent. That leaves a questionable opinion of the session. So questions always good. But I would start actually with the advice. I would start from the beginning. Before you enter the conference, have a look at the agenda. Have a look at the sessions that are there available that spark your interest. And make sure you don't want to or try to do everything. There is a lot of sessions, a lot of content. You will not be able to cover it all You will be dead if you were even tried to. There is so many things to watch, to see, to talk to take part in. So make sure you also consider the fact that you look after yourself. The people will be there whether you will be in their sessions or if you won't make it. You can find the people afterwards. If you have specific questions but you didn't make it to the session, let them know that. Go up to them, find them, talk to them, and ask the questions you had. Maybe even ask for the session deck that just say that you were really interested, but it didn't fit into your schedule, or you were just overwhelmed and couldn't make it. It is okay. None of the speakers can manage to be everywhere anyways. So, actually, I've enjoyed some of the conversations I've had from people coming to me maybe an hour or two after the session, telling me that, hey, either that I really enjoyed it or the fact that I couldn't make it, but I really wanted to listen to because the topic was really interesting for me, and then have the conversation. Those topics and conversations can actually lead to very long-lasting relationships also after the conference. So that is also something that make sure the people remember when they're attending. You don't have to attend everything, and still feel free to go up to the speakers and have a conversation with them, even though you couldn't make it to attend their session. Besides that, as both Dana and Angeliki also mentioned before, there is a packed schedule in terms of socializing. There is a party every night. I'm pretty sure there was last year. There are mixers, there are different events happening around. So make sure you also attend these. They're very informal in terms of talking to people. Last year we heard even people talking all sorts of smack about products in the award ceremony. You might even get to see funny awards being handed out to people. So there is thought about everything. So even if you are new to the conference, the community, make sure you attend these events. 5 minutes also enough. You don't have to be there from start to the end, but make sure you get the experience, the full experience of the DynamicsMinds Conference. It is totally worth it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hi, Dona.
Hey, okay, so I have 3 pieces of homework. The first one is probably the most important, which is there are a lot of people who will have sessions at this conference. There'll be a lot of people who may not have a very full room, early mornings, later on in the week. So a very, very good way to make lifelong friends is to attend sessions that are not completely full, sit in the front row, and be the enthusiastic nodder, okay? Which is like, yes, that, applaud, live tweet, take pictures, be like, yeah, say it again for the people in the back. The enthusiastic front row person has become my best friend so many times, okay? So if you're looking to make friends, this is a very good way to make lifelong friends. Just trust me on this one. It boosts up the speaker. It gives them energy. They feel seen. They feel heard. They feel welcome. They feel included. The best way to feel included is to make others feel included, right? So that's one. Second thing, it is absolutely cool, like both Viv and Angeliki have said, to feel extremely overwhelmed by looking at the schedule and everything. It is absolutely fine to say, I'm out of here for about 30 minutes, leave the hotel, go around the back. It's on this beautiful beach. Just sit on the steps, take a few deep breaths, and just stare at this beautiful ocean and marvel at the fact that we're sitting on the Adriatic Sea attending a tech conference. Like, how lucky are we in this life to be able to do this? That is wild. You don't see finance people doing this conference, okay? Trust me. Like, we are so lucky to be in the industry at this time with these organizers putting on this beautiful event for us. So just feel a sense of gratitude in that moment. And the third one, if someone offers you, do you want a rubber chicken or a triangle? Always choose the triangle. Pro tip. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you got to come to DynamicsMinds.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good tips. Thank you. Yeah, I think I have the last question, and I think I've said a lot about this already, but for a first timer that is coming to this conference, what advice do you have for them? Hi, Angeliki.
So on top of this is, to be honest, no, I'm going to recycle something previous. Have the most open, most curious of mind. it's not just an opportunity to learn or to network. It's a very immersive experience. That lock-in, that beautiful view, and those incredibly smart, welcoming people, make the most out of it all. This is a unique experience. For those few days, just immerse yourself, and because this is your time to be part of not just the cutting edge of technology, but also the best of people in the industry and also the nicest. So get ready for the most immersive experience ever.
Yeah. You've heard that, definitely. Thank you. Hi, Vivian.
Hey, Rachel. Yeah. But what else is to be said? All good people, all good times. Enjoy. Yeah, definitely make sure you know what you're getting into. It's not easy to get out of it again. It's good for me to say I started a few years ago and I'm still stuck with it. And I don't want to get out. So that might be the problem of it. But take part in everything. You are welcome. Also okay not to say no. Make sure you also look around the hotel. Last year I was there for 3 days and I barely left the hotel. This year I'm hoping to also see the surrounding area and how things are there. It looked amazing from the window. Hopefully to see more this year. But make sure you reach out to people. Make sure you find people. There are a lot of people you're going to see. Make sure you also have a quiet space for yourself. It will be overwhelming, but the more you prepare yourself, the easier it will be.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, Dona.
Hello. So for new people, new this year, or to conferencing, if this is your first conference, you're lucky, though the bar is going to be set and you're going to think like, are all conferences like this? And the answer is no. But I will tell you two things, which is to set an intention for yourself for the conference and say, my goal, if at the end of the 3 days, I have learned one new thing that I can apply in my job and life and have made one new friend that I'm going to stay in touch with, that this conference is a success. Because if you go in with that kind of expectation, then you won't have 1,000 expectations, which you'll disappoint yourself. But you'll also have something very meaningful and purposeful to aim for. So I really, really hope that you, first of all, attend Dynamics Minds. Second, have a very, very good time with what you're doing at the conference itself. And three, and most important, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, because ultimately this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you to our wonderful speakers. Don't forget to go online, search for Dynamics Minds Conference. It's going to be the first thing you're going to see. So definitely click on it and register. And the link is going to be attached to the description of this video. So thank you so much, everyone, and one love. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.